Hey guys, look, I just wanted to tap in really quick. I just got this feeling, man, that this summer is, it's about to be a white boy summer. Take it how you want.
I'm speaking on the behalf of all white dudes that date black girls.
Can y'all stop calling us Massa?
What the you know what you're doing. You know, like, what the am I supposed to say? And y'all be thinking it's funny as laughing your ass off, having the time of your life.
So this is where we are. The video footage will be muted due to the fact of copyright when dealing with a lot of the music. So what you're going to just see here for a 4-minute duration is the fact that you will have black women. You have a black guy in there, even though he's not fully shown because of the angle of the camera. But more so, you will see a lot of black women or biracial, right, women that will decide that their Caucasian counterparts are their massa, right? So you'll see, these women dancing, laughing, finding it funny to call their counterpart their massa. And my main thing is, if people state that me as a black man, right, that I'm disrespectful, that I don't love black women, that I don't care about black women, then what is this? Then what are these black women, in a sense, doing? And the reason I ask this question is due to the fact of not only is it affecting or going to affect them negatively when people, in a sense, look and see them and realize that this is them in these videos, but in general, when it deals with black women, this is going to have a negative effect, because regardless of however black people in America want to try to portray themselves as individuals, people are going to look at you as a group. The billions of people on this planet aren't going to like try to look at you on a case by case basis. That's too much work, that's too much energy, that's too much time. People don't really have time for it. Let's be real. People are going to look at it as a group type of thing, like, okay, well, this is what black people in America do in general. This is what black women do here. And like I said, regardless of however that you feel that you are an individual, right? And regardless on if these people make up half or minority or whatever it is, the fact of the matter is it is still a representation of black women at the end of the day. These are still black women who are out here doing this, who are enabling this type of behavior, who are thinking that this is fun. And the other thing that I want to bring up is the fact of, what about the facts of black women being abused, being mistreated, being misused, having horrible and horrific things taking place to them throughout history when it deals with slavery in America? There are books written directly on this. There are documentaries written directly on this, right? So why is it that you would then, knowing the history, like I said, I'm pretty sure that everybody's heard the main saying that black women are the most disrespected and the most unprotected, and everything else, woman out of the whole world, right? That's the main thing that's always stated. So if that is the fact, then why would you have black women, in a sense, making light or fun of the fact that the word massa, aka master, right, aka slave master, these were the individuals who were mistreating you. These were the individuals that were hurting you. These were the individuals treating you as cattle, treating you as property, treating you as a side chick when they had a wife, right? They were using you just to procreate, right? They wanted to have their fetish and eat it too, right? They wanted to sit up there and have their wife, but then they wanted to sit up there and have you directly on the side for dessert, right? And here you have black women, in a sense, making fun and making light of this fetish sizing, type of thing that goes on in a variety of different communities. And yes, you do have a lot of people that are into race play. If you don't know what that is, you can clearly look that up. You got some people that are into slave play as well. You can sit up there and look that up. You got a lot of individuals that are into using slurs, right, while being in the midst of certain actions. If you don't know what that is, you can look that up as well. Like I said, you have a lot of these individuals that will allow these things, right? And some people are like, well, that's their life and it has no effect on me and yada, yada, yada. You could say it has no effect on you now, But what about later? What about after you have kids, right? And you're still alive. So then those same people that you said don't affect your life or anything like that, then what if those people have kids and then those people get into contact with your kids? Are you going to sit up there and say that that has no effect on your life, that has no bearing on your life at all, it's not affecting anything having to do with you? Or then are you going to sit up there and say that something needs to be done? Because usually what tends to happen is that a lot of people don't want to, in a sense, address the problem as it is right now. They want to wait up until it's far too late, and they want to wait until the problem is actually at their front door in order for them to actually act on the problem. The other issue is the fact that you have a lot of black women out here that don't want to listen or take the words of black men. And this is what, in a sense, leads to things like this. Now, you'll have some black women out here that decide to say that, oh, well, maybe if black men were this, black men were that, black men were this, black men were that, then everything would be better in the black community. Maybe if black men would actually focus more on black men versus focus on whatever black women are doing, maybe, things will be a lot better for you. Maybe we would actually look at you as leaders instead of, just not listening to you at all because you don't have anything realistically to offer because you can't even lead yourselves. It is, in fact, black women that is, in a sense, leading black men and doing better than black men and pretty much uplifting and carrying the community because black men can't do it, right? So if we're going to go that route, which I've heard a lot of black women say, if you're going to go the route of that, you're Superman, you can fight anybody out here, you can carry anything, you can, blow away stars, create universes, create solar systems, create life itself, right? You are basically God itself, right? If we're going to go to that aspect, then we should also go into the aspect of you being accountable, right, for the actions that you decide to commit to. But when it comes to taking that responsibility and accountability, magically the whole auditorium is empty. When it comes to pointing out and critiquing the issues that takes place, magically the whole auditorium is empty. When it comes to people trying to correct and make sure that these issues don't persist with our young black girls, magically the auditorium is empty. But when you want to tell people on how to direct their energy on what they should do, magically the auditorium is full to the brim and the doors are open and people are out there in the parking lot also listening and they got their opinion as well. And they want to sit up there and hoopla and they're almost ready to fight because, oh, you're a man and you're trying to sit up there and tell us what to do. You have no right to sit up there and tell us what to do. We're independent. We're getting our own money. We're boss chicks. We're this, we're that. You should sit up there and mind your own business and focus on you and actually focus on getting your money. The only reason that you as a black man are even trying to talk is because you're jealous, you're envious of everything that we're sitting up there doing. You wish you could be us. I'm like, y'all doing too much. You're doing too much. The only men that are wishing to, in a sense, be you are the men that you allow to be you. Other than that, all the other black men out here ain't wishing to be anything like you. Men only want to sit up there and be one thing. Men. So like I said, speak for the ones that you're fighting for the exact same man over. Speak to them. Don't sit up there and bring that and speak to us. Like I said, you the ones taking L's on that. It ain't us. Right? And then on top of that, the cure to this whole issue, the real 100% cure, right? Because like I said before, I'm pretty sure that some people are going to bring up the fact that, oh, well, if their fathers were in their lives, if black men actually cared, if black men actually did this right, they'll list all of the deflection. This is the real fact. If women actually cared about other women, if black women actually really cared about other black women, then you would actually talk to a lot of these young black girls and tell them and teach them how to be young women. You would actually instill the self-love. You would instill the self-knowledge. You would instill the value, instill the respect. Right? You would instill all of these things so that as they're a young woman developing, working their way through the world and figuring themselves out, they have that message on consistent replay so that they know that, yo, this is me, this is me, this is me. Anything else that is not this message, that is not me. I'm not going to follow that. I'm going to stay on this road from now all the way up until I'm a woman, all the way up until I'm a mother, all the way up until I'm a wife. And then I'm going to take all of that knowledge that I was given when I was younger on top of the knowledge that I gained as a woman walking through life, and I'm going to instill that into the future. But that's not what's happening at this moment in time. What's happening at this moment in time is a hands-off approach. And you see clear cut what happens with a hands-off approach. You have nothing but chaos and everything detrimental that is taking place that is negatively affecting black women at this moment in time. Today, if black men as a whole, or even the sum of a whole, right, who mean the utmost love and respect to black women and just want to solely just put everything on a correct path. If black men, right, can't even lead, right, or be allowed to lead, and correct black women, if black women won't even listen to them, what do you think is going to happen? If you have the other portion of that demographic of black women who are on, the straight and narrow, right, who can see game, who know exactly what's going on, if those black women who are doing everything correct, if they try to correct those black women and the black women don't want to listen, what's going to happen? So if you have literally black men who are trying, and you have other black women that are trying to also correct black women, you got both of these groups trying their hardest to correct what is incorrect at this moment in time, and those black women don't want to listen, who do you think that those black women are going to listen to? The answer is white men. Because at the end of the day, for a lot of these black women who feel that they are independent, who feel that they are the boss chick, who feel that they can do any and everything that a man can do, that they are basically Superman, right? The only one that they're going to respect is a white man at the end of the day. They're going to respect the creator. And speaking from a comic book standpoint, the people that draw Superman are white men. They're the writers. They're the ones that give him the powers. They're the ones that give him the backstory. They're the ones that allow him to save the damsel in distress. They're the ones that give him these, great feats of strength and all of these other types of things. So if we are to, in a sense, correlate that with anything, you can correlate that back to, in a sense, religion itself, and look at what is being worshipped in church is the image of a white man who looks pretty homely, with facial hair and long hair, just wearing a sheet. This is supposed to be the ideal and the perfect type of man that, in a sense, black women would actually want, who the black women that I'm referring to would actually believe in, and who they would actually want as a suitable partner. He is the one that would be the only one on this planet to be able to actually correct them and tell them what to do, and they would actually listen. And if a black man is nowhere even close to that, you have no shot at all, even if it comes to your own child, right? If they've been influenced enough by social media and by the other women out here, good luck. It's going to be a very long journey, and it's going to be treacherous, and it's going to be harsh. And at the end of the day, you're going to be sacrificing your own life and your own energy just to try to save somebody else who wants to keep committing to the exact same wrong behavior that is detrimental and that is looked down upon and that has been used in order to degrade black women and to also sexualize black women in a certain type of way, and also to fetishize black women in a certain type of way. But I guess that doesn't really matter, since you have black women in control of their own image, as you see right here on TikTok, because no black man made them do this. No black man forced them to sit up there and do this. No black man just ran through with the video and just uploaded it just for views. These are literally black women here telling you that their family, their friends, their significant other, their partner, whatever it is their massa. Like I said, I don't know what to tell you, but what I can sit up there and tell you is what Kanye West stated at one point in time is the truth. He said that slavery was a choice.
400 years, for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? It's like we're mentally imprisoned.
And that's clearly what you're seeing at this moment in time right now. Just like how we had the slaves back then. Yes, we did have people that fight. Yes, we did have slave revolts and different things of that nature. But obviously it was not enough, right? And from during that time, you still had mental slavery that went on. Regardless of the slaves, in a sense, being free physically, mentally, in their mind, they were still in shackles. The The slave master got them to the point and had them trained to the point where even though they don't have to physically chain them, they know where to go and where not to go. They know what to do and what not to do. They were going to behave accordingly, even if the master was off of the plantation for a few months on a vacation. They were still going to sit up there and work from sun up to sundown and do the things that they were supposed to do as if the master was there. And they were still going to love him no matter what. And this is case in point, what you're seeing directly at this moment in time. You're seeing that mental slavery. You're seeing history, in a sense, repeat itself, where black people, in a sense, just are not learning from the past, that they are not accepting of that history, that they feel that they are so far above it and so far after, you know, everything that took place, that, you know, it doesn't affect them, when realistically it does. If you 100% knew the history and you 100% knew the things that were taking place, things like this wouldn't happen, and things like this wouldn't be funny. It wouldn't be seen as a trend or as any type of a game. But like I said, it is what it is at the end of the day, and this is what people decide that they want to sit up there and do, and what they want to decide to make a trend. They want to call their significant other that is a whole different race, that is a whole different human being from them, that this is my massa or my master. But yet these are the exact same women who state that they would never quote unquote serve, they would never quote unquote listen, and that they would never quote unquote respect a black man.